Con este booty yo te son. Y a tu familia la de son. Papi tengo grasa en mi lora. Ay, ay, dale, dale.
Week 4 racing is among us, and we come here to the West here for Phoenix, Arizona. Here for the Prestige Cup Series as we start the campaign of their Season 2 here once again. Race 4 here from Phoenix, Arizona for the Phoenix Raceway. Here for the Prestige Cup Series. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race for this fantastic race we're going to have tonight here once again from Phoenix Raceway, and a lot to look forward to. But we'll go back down trackside and we'll get ready to look at some of your fastest drivers tonight in practice. Wyatt Blair in that number 59 machine. And there currently P2, we see the 70 of Wyatt Miller who coming to the Prestige Cup Series. Is we are going to have a couple more people who have shown up or coming up here for the first time, like this driver in the number 12 machine, this Battleborn machine, Finnegan Myers, making his start here in the Prestige Cup Series. Driver, at least the channel is very well and known for. And again, another quick driver that has made his way into the Prestige Cup Series. Some other drivers too. Jonathan Schaefer is someone who I really want to highlight. This driver here in the 91 has qualified and raced in the Craftsman Truck Series and now the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So really cool to see Jonathan coming out of his way to race here in the Prestige Cup Series with that Precision Motorsports machine. Really excited to see what Jonathan can do here in his debut here in the Prestige Cup Series. But time is ticking down here and practice. We'll go ahead and pull up that timer up there at the top left hand of your screen to see how much time these drivers have left to get these machines wrangled in here. We'll take a look at your point standings real quick here from going into week 4. Tyler Helms has been on fire here these last couple of weeks, taking home his second win last week, going back-to-back at Auto Club. And we'll come here into Phoenix with a chip on their shoulder. Obviously, we've talked to Tyler a lot here in the booth, whether it's here in the Prestige Cup Series or other leagues that we are lucky enough to call here on the channel. But we know Tyler's going to come in here with a chip on his shoulder. Wyatt Thompson up here coming out on track, a little bit of a pit party. Currently sitting P2 in points, but a decent chunk behind, 28 points behind your points leader of Helms in that 3 machine. But I'm not too worried about, the 77 machine. We know Tyler is good, but also so is the 77 of Wyatt Thompson here. He's very consistent, knows his way around these next-gen machines. And I feel like Phoenix here, and we'll talk about the changes here in a second, but Phoenix here is a driver's track. It really is, especially with the new changes that, once again, I said we'll talk about. Max Ford comes back here in the P3 machine coming into this race, and he sits here currently P3 in that DHL Camry. And Max, we've called a couple of races that Max races in here in the series, and I feel like this series right now, Prestige, is the one that he kind of has circled as the one that he's doing really well in. Obviously, P3 and on the charts right now. P3 in points. Only 33 behind Tyler Helms there. And back here, P4, Jackson Brown in the 31. He's had some consistent runs. He's just at P4 in points. Peter Hopp in that P5 position in points. He's been a very, very sneaky fast driver here. Currently off the track, but in that 83 machine for Hive Motorsports. He's been sneaky. He's been quick and been up here towards the end of the races to get those finishes. I don't think he's been the dominant lead lap leader and stuff like that in these events, but like the kind of the top 3 in points have. But definitely has shown some speed, and you know, he's done a good job keeping the car clean and not wrecking himself. And I feel like at a driver's track like this, that's going to be a really big key takeaway tonight. Speaking of, driver's track, Phoenix was already kind of difficult to go around here and navigate with just how unique this track is. It's not really a track like it on the NASCAR schedule, but it's definitely gotten a lot more difficult as for people who kind of aren't informed tonight. In the offseason, NASCAR changed the way that the short track package is in any track under a mile and a half. They bumped up the horsepower to 750 horsepower versus that 650, 670, I believe it was, horsepower back in the day. So a little bit more horsepower for these drivers to play with, but because more horsepower, it should be good. That doesn't always mean that it's going to be the best thing. It definitely has put the car handling and the speed into the driver's hands a little bit more. And it's definitely going to be interesting. We're right on board with JJ Moore here. We're lap on board here with the 5 machine. Oh, well, we were going to try to ride on board. Looks like he gets tagged by the 33. He will park that machine. JJ Moore trying to run out laps there. Unfortunately, gets tagged by another competitor out there, Colby Duckworth, car who got in the back of him. But like I said, Phoenix was already pretty difficult to navigate around here. And now with the increased horsepower, and also I'm going to try to see if we can get a zoomed in look on some of these. I got told by the race control tonight that iRacing and NASCAR really has taken out the diffuser on the back end of these cars. So let's see if we can find kind of a let's see if we can find a battle out here. Some guys running around each other. We'll go on board on the nose cam and see. You can kind of see it there. See the 91 of Jonathan Schaefer trying to go around. Maybe it looks like a teammate there in the 26. Matthew Rogers. Okay, the 91 has let his teammate not go yet, actually. We'll try to ride on board with the 26 series. They're trying to race each other here. They're in practice. Be a little bit of contact, but if you... Oh, we almost saw it there on the camera. They're going to continue to go side by side here. And not really... Of course, the time we're trying to show something off, we cannot get the back end of these cars on camera. See if we can find another battle here right before. Actually, let's do this. Let's go on the 06 here. Riley Gray. We'll just go on his nose, and you'll look at the back of Finnegan Meyer's car right there. You'll see. No diffuser on the back end of that 12 machine. So that also definitely does have a lot to do with the handling and the modeling and stuff. And that will play a factor in tonight's race, just because, once again, that's just the diffuser really did help with the downforce of these machines and tried to help get these, keep these drivers underneath them. Now that we have increased horsepower and now no diffuser on the back end of these cars, it's just going to make it just a little bit more difficult for these drivers to come out here and set, good lap times and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a driver's track here tonight at Phoenix. But all right there. Qualifying wrapping up, the 70 of Miller passes to practice. We get ready to get qualifying for tonight's race here for week 4 from Phoenix Raceway. Drivers getting ready to pull out on track right now. Jackson Brown in the 31, one of the first on track. He's out of turn 2 here, going down the back stretch. Well, these drivers have 2 laps to complete a lap. The top of the boards, Isaiah Fox in 09, followed by Gabriel Ngoli, the 2 who set their first lap. So here comes Brown. He's going to spin it down here in the dog leg, and that's going to kind of ruin both his laps right now. He sits P3 with the 26.07, 017, but that's his qualifying run right there. It's gone. Here to look at some drivers here tonight. Jonathan Schaefer in the 99. In the 91, my apologies. Coming out to make complete his first lap. Did not like that lap. He's going to try to park it here before he gets started here. Smart decision. Just, I guess, probably did not like the 3 and 4 he had going to the line. Going to restart this lap here for the driver in the 91. We'll go ahead and look at some other drivers while he gets imposed and back underneath himself. Rylan Gray, 06. A lot of precision drivers coming out for their first race tonight. What this 06 could do is he starts his first lap. Now currently P9 for Rylan Gray. Trying to improve on that time. Tyler Helms out on track. Coming out of 3 and 4. Does not like that lap. He'll once again be one of those cars who park it. Max Ford. Fastest time, 25.87. He'll go up to P2 in the charts. Right behind Finnegan Myers. Finnegan Myers right now your pole sitter. Tyler Helms coming out to start his first time lap. Just right on the dot, a minute left in qualifying. So plenty of time for this driver to come out and get a good time underneath him. We'll go to start his only allowed time. Lap 2 underway for the 3 machine. Got that thing a little loose for the 3 machine. I see him just throwing that car around. See what this lap looks like for the 3 machine. 24.24. That's good enough for P17. I don't think that's the lap he really wanted, but we know that he can drive through the field. He probably will. We'll see Wyatt Blair running some laps there in the 59 machine, just trying to get some extra laps under his belt there. But Finnegan Myers will take the pole here in his first start here in the Prestige Cup Series. Good lap for that 12 machine, 25.775 for that driver. We'll wait on these drivers to get in their cars and get ready to go, and we'll get your starting lineup presented by here. Another talking point we're going to talk about, and we won't really talk about it just because I know some drivers have some other sponsorships outside of these guys, but the Prestige Cup Series did partner with Premier Setup Shops, and this is the setup shops, and so these will all be custom setups from here on out the rest of the season. So we'll see how they drive comparatively differently to the fix set that we've been used to seeing all season long. coming up to week 4, and even since last year, right? We saw, fixed sets, but good for the guys over at Prestige, JJ and Kendorian, for getting this partnership with Prestige, with Premier Setups. My apologies. And so we'll be running these Premier setups for the rest of the season here. I'm interested to see, the dynamics of how, these different setups are gonna affect the way that these drivers drive the cars and handle it and set up their race, right? Because obviously these setups drive a little bit probably easier and just better, so they could drive faster and get a little bit more time out of the car versus the fixed set, which is a little bit more safe, and usually it's a little bit more tight and in that sense to just make it a little bit easier to drive. But looks like most everybody out on the track ready to go, so we'll go ahead and get your starting lineup here presented by High Velocity TV as we'll get it started. You see right there on the pole, Finnegan Myers with that 25.7 alongside Max Ford 25.8. Good laps for those. Starting that row 2, Wyatt Thompson in the 77 alongside Isaiah Fox in that 09, making his first start here in the Prestige Cup Series. Matthew Rogers in the 26, going to be that P5 driver alongside Jackson Brown, going to round out that row 3. Carmelo Echeverria in that 81, going to be P7 alongside Colby Duckworth in P8. Rounding out the top 10, Joseph Enright in that 57, Ryland Gray making his first start here, going to round out that top 10. P11, going to go to Jonathan Schaefer in the 91, Gabriel Ngoli in the 55, going to be P12, Nicholas Rode and Kenorian Davis round out that row 7. Oliver Quinney, P15 alongside Lucas Lewis back there in P16. Tyler Helms, P17 alongside Cash Colpin at 51. Rounding out the top 20, James Bull, I believe he's making his first start alongside Travis Prather in the 58, rounding out that top 20. 21st will go to Wyatt Blair and Ryder Morgan back there in the 65. Wyatt Miller, P23. JJ Moore, P24. It looks like he didn't start the race. Going to start from the pits, it looks like. Peter Hopp, P25. Jacob Bryant, P26. Riley Maxwell, P27. And running out the field right there, you see Aiden Goley, who all decided not to set a lap here for the start of the race here at Phoenix. Taking a look at your race weather for tonight's broadcast. 72 degrees here from Phoenix, and you see the track temp 76 degrees, so great. That's a really good ideal condition to get a good run out of these tires. 18.9% humidity with a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Partly cloudy out here at Phoenix, but nothing that will really determine the race here. We're getting ready to go 150 laps here from Phoenix Raceway. Remember, we do have a stage caution on lap 45. One fast repair, 5 sets of tires, including the set they have on tonight, and 75% fuel. We're going to get ready to go green. You see the 12 of Myers, the 11 of Max Ford, Chevy, Ford Toyota front row, my apologies. We're getting ready to go green. 150 laps here for Phoenix. Wrecking already, caution will wave. We'll throw the first caution here on lap 1. Like a lot of wrecking in the back here, a lot of calamity. We'll see what happened here in the back. Didn't really tell me who wrecked here. Just go here and try to find it here on the cameras. Saw someone get up, and it looks like the 31's going to hook this 26 up into the 09. And nowhere for a lot of these guys to go. Not the first couple laps we wanted to see tonight. Tyler Helms did not get caught up in it actually, but a lot of calamity. We'll go back. We're right on board with this 31. That just gets up into the 26. Just calamity in front of this driver as well. Stops the car and try to, keep whatever piece he has underneath him. And yeah, that was just a pretty costly mistake out of the 31 there early here on lap 1. We'll load this pace back down. You already see the lights off on the pace car. Trying to get this race underway as soon as they can. See that same front row, the 12 of Myers, the 11 of Max Floyd. Is you see that pace car take the hard left turn on the pit road. We're gonna have to go a little bit longer before we go green here with how the pit road works here from Phoenix. You see the pace car took the hard left turn where we got to go all the way past this backstretch before we get back into the restart zone. We had to go into the restart zone. We'll see the 12 and the 11 take us back to green here to start lap 5. Go jump out of the 12 machine. You see that battle ensue for that P2 spot. Here comes Wyatt Thompson on the inside of this 11 machine. See that top 4 get single files. You see battle for the P5 position. Schaefer trying to hold off the 55 of goalie. Schaefer keeps the spot right now in that higher lane. While we go up down here on this dog leg, we'll secure that P5 position. Side by side further on back. Nicholas Road looking underneath the 55. Honestly, I'm not surprised to see that we had a caution early. Obviously, we're not used to seeing these custom sets. A lot of these drivers are used to the fixed set where it's tight and it plows and stuff like that. Especially, and I've heard a lot with this new short track package, if you want to call it, that the cars are a lot more planted and they're tight, and the tire wear really doesn't affect the cars that much. But here with this new custom set, it's definitely going to change the way these drivers have to approach these races from here on out. Unless they have the set, they can't go out and, run and, test laps, right? So it's going to be all what happens in practice when they open up the sessions for these drivers to go out and test the setup here for the first time. Cash Colt making his way through the field here. That number 51 machine. You see that Brad K inspired car. He's driven us way up inside the top 7, up 11 positions from where he started. So fast Cash right now, finding some speed in that 51 machine. Up to the battle for the front. Again, Myers continues to hold on, but you still see Max Ford not going away. Max, right? Trying to keep this 12 in his sights, but Wyatt Thompson is also right there in that third place. If this 11 makes any type of mistake, 77's going to pounce. 77 makes a mistake. Here comes the 81 of Carmelo. Carmelo, you know, has not shown the most speed here in the Prestige Cup Series, but obviously we've called some races that he has been a part of. We know that he has the pace to go up here and race for the lead, race, you know, for a top 5. Look at him right up here in the top 4, up 3 spots from where he started back there in P7. See Jonathan Schaefer still rounding out that top 5. Got around the 55 and has kept this spot right now. Nicholas Road trying to run down this driver in the 91. See everybody just babying that throttle here, especially on out of 2. I feel like that is a corner that people are going to get punished the most here tonight at Phoenix, is just overdoing it in turn 2, either maybe self-spinning or going up there and tank slapping that outside wall. That's where you're going to see those wrecks happen. Someone self-spinning out of 2, or someone tank slapping, checking up the field behind them, and then the wreck happens behind whoever makes that mistake. Everybody right now, single file for the most part, trying to figure out where they want to put this car. You got here battling in and outside the top 10. You see Cash Cope running out this top 10. Here comes the 26 of Matthew Rogers. Now making his first start of the season for that Precision Motorsports team. Tyler Helms, we talked about him being able to drive through the field. We haven't really talked about him this race here. Only on lap 16, but he's already made up 8 spots here, driving himself up inside the top 10. Got around Cash Culp. And just be on the lookout for this 3 machine the whole race. Tyler's kind of on a roll here in Prestige here, winning 2 in a row, looking to make it 3 in a row here from Phoenix, and obviously did not have the best qualifying effort. But remember, you look back at the last broadcast we actually did here on the channel on Mondays nights for the UBN Prospect Truck Series. He didn't have a good qualifying effort in Bristol either, but guess what? He drove up to the field, didn't get the win, but narrowly lost to a 60 machine, I believe, in a kind of a fuel strategy race. We welcome in everybody from the John Ross raid over on twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. Thank you, John, for the raid. Appreciate it. Lap 19 of 150 as we still see Finney and Myers leading. And he's actually started to pull a little bit of a gap on P2 and Max Ford. Max Ford got a rear deck lid full of the 77. Wyatt Thompson hungry to get that P2 spot away. And Wyatt's got to be careful too, because that 81 of Carmelo's right there. If he overdoes it here, trying to be aggressive on this 11, makes a mistake. He's got the 81 right there. He's got the 91, who's really not that far behind. Oh, do you see the 11 getting an outside wall there? But still, the 77 cannot make anything of it right now. I'm just trying to hold on here. I think the 77's got a little bit of a better car, but the 11 doing a really good job defending the 77. But the 77 going to try to use that top lane. Going to get around in the hard way. Use that momentum off the corner. And try to get side by side with this 11 machine down the backstretch. He does. They'll be side by side going into 3 and 4. Eleven to 4, trying to hold on. Gonna try to do a little bit of slide job. Here comes the crossover from the 77. Once again, side by side out of the corner. The 11 gonna try to clear here. Not gonna be able to happen. Wyatt Thompson on the bottom now as they'll switch places. 77 will cut the dog leg this time, and 11 will try to follow him suit down there. What a battle for this P2 position right now. And this is exactly what Finnegan Myers wants to see. That's allowed that 77 to drive away from the rest of the field. And again, catching some lap traffic as we speak right now. Go back up here. Finnegan trying to navigate the lap car. That's the 70 machine of Wyatt Miller. Wyatt not really giving it to him. I mean, I don't blame him. Trying to stay on the lead lap. Caution waves. That's a heartbreak for the 70. Was already 2 laps down. Now we'll go to 3 laps down. Like maybe Ryder Morgan with an issue. Take a look and see what happened. Further on back here. Back outside the top 20. Man, the 65 just comes down the track. 83's there. Fortunately, it takes out the 83. Peter Hopp with them. Nowhere to go for the 83. We're right on board with this 83 one more time just to see maybe his point of view of what happened. I'm actually going down in the 3rd. Now the 65 just comes down. Towards the 83 down the track. Luckily, it looks like not a lot of damage for that 83 machine. If any, it looks like maybe a little bit of right front damage. 65. Obviously involved here. Now just a little misjudgment there, I think, from the 65, but caution will wait for the second time here from Phoenix lap 27. See everybody, for the most part, come down. I won't say everybody for the most part. The top 10 actually stays out on track here. You'll see right there. That shows the top 10. You know, lap time since they've come down pit road. And you see back there, back in P11, Finnegan Myers is the first driver to come down pit road. Well, interesting calls here. Remember, we do have that caution on lap 40, I believe. Lap 45, so we're just over halfway in stage 1. I'm interested to see how these restarts go. Can these guys hold on to the track position? We'll have a new cast of characters here to restart the race. So you'll see the 55 goalie who's ran up front, as well as Nicholas Rode, who's had some success here in the Prestige Cup Series lately. Matthew Rogers making his first start of the season here at Phoenix, and then you see Cash Colpdale on the outside rounding out your fast 4. See the classic characters on back there. We get ready to go back in here. You'll see the 55, the 29 in the front, Ford Chevy front row. As we get ready to go green. Nicholas Rode with a pretty decent jump on the outside, but you're already good to see 3 wide there for the P2 position. Is that 29 going to get taken 3? The 26 of Matthew Rogers Trying to be aggressive to take that spot away. Ibrin, goalie back there, trying to hold on to this race lead, but Nicholas Road was able to, manage to keep this P2 spot away from that 26. See some guys hitting outside wall, wrecking in the back. Oliver Quinney, they went for a spin and saved it. Josh will away once again here from Phoenix. Damage of that 41. We'll take a look back and see what happened. I think this all started with Oliver Quinney. Quinney actually ripping the... Actually, when you talk about ripping the fence, that's exactly what he did. He actually scraping the fence to try to give that 59 room. See what happened in this 41. Looks like 4. Looking almost 4 wide. Oliver trying to drive his way through the field. Oh man, it looks like the 15 got loose. Aiden goalie gets loose. Take a look back and see if he got any help there. I mean, he had the 3 of Helms right there. Ooh, he might have got a nudge. He might have got a nudge from the 3. We'll have to ride on board with this Helms machine. See, maybe there's a little bit of contact. I mean, that's close. I think you saw that 15 get loose before the 3 made contact, and obviously, get loose, you kind of check up there. Fortunately, nowhere to go for the 3 machine, and yeah, I think that 15 was already getting loose out of the corner, and the 3 just kind of helped him spin around there. He'll grab the 41. Somehow the 41 of Quinney saves it with minimal damage. We'll go back live. Take a look at this 41 machine. Yeah, not a lot of damage to this Red Bull machine. Despite, Quinney being the one who got hooked, he looks like his car's relatively good. Looks like a little bit of right rear damage on that 41, but besides that, clean and green for the Quinney machine. So the front 2 stay the same here for this restart. You'll see Bully and Road going down the backstretch here, and we'll get ready to go and green here once again to start lap 33. Approaching in, almost 10 laps to go in stage 1. The 55, the 29, get ready to go back into restart zone. We'll be green once again here from Phoenix. Jump by the 55, he's going to clear the 29. Now the battle is going to ensue for that P2 position. Maybe P3. Here comes Wyatt Thompson driving through the field with these fresh Goodyear tires. So you have the P2 wrecking in the back again. Max Ford involved. Not the race I feel like these race admins want, especially with a lot of these new guys coming into the field for the first time. Not the race I think these guys expected to have. We'll go once back again and see what happened. This 11 machine. Oh man. Speed 11, he's taking this kind of... See the drivers do this in real life a lot. Go down there and just completely tags the 41. And nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers. You see the 88 involved back there. See the 2. Jason Turnbull involved in this one, the 73. Look at Lewis. There's nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers. And that is completely on the 11 right there. I mean, you can go down there and cut down on the apron, but you got to give space. When you're going to do that, if there's not room, you got to just give it up. Just wreck it out of the cars. But hopefully that's a mistake learned for the further of the race here. But get that lemon taking some damage. But you're pacing one in here from Phoenix. Getting lights off on the pace car. Now we're under 10 to go here in stage 1, so probably going to see this aggressiveness pick up just a little bit more than we've already seen. See them come down the backstretch for the final time before we go green once again here from Phoenix. You know, be the 55 and a 29. The 29 needs to get up there. It'll be green here. Under 10 to go here in stage 1. Another good jump by that 55. He's got to look out for that 77, though. Wyatt Thompson came down, took those fresh tires. Going to be hungry to take this stage win away. Already underneath the 55. I don't think there's anything that 55 could do to hold him back. Lunging in the turn 3 and 4. You see him drive away here with those fresh Goodyear tires. But battle for the stage 1, no contest. We still have some battling further on back here for these precious stage points. See that 26 middle 3 with his teammates at that. The 91 of Schaefer, the 26 of Rogers, and the 06 of Gray. Trying to battle for these last couple of stage spots. The 91 will actually take the spot here. He's also going to get around the 51 of Cash Culp. 91 with those fresh Goodyear tires trying to drive through the field here as we get ready to close your stage 1. The wrecking loose in the back. That's a 59 of Wyatt Blair. He saved it. What a save by the 59, but I'm just going to lose all that track position he just worked so hard to get. Luckily, we do have a caution here, so he could kind of reset here in a couple laps. Biggin Myers driving to the field as well with those fresh Goodyear tires. And him clearing the path, and that 91 machine follow him through. I remember he started back there in P11 on this restart, up to P4. I don't think anybody's going to get the Wyatt Thompson, though, as he did a great job driving through the field to get that track position. Back up here, Gabriel Goli trying to hold on here. Remember, has not come down pit road yet. trying to keep the track position while he has it. He's on the best side of these drivers with the older tires to keep the track position right now. The second place driver out of this strategy back there in P6. That's Nicholas Rowan at 29. He only got a couple more laps to limp this thing home. He'll get some good stage points here for stage one. Remember, only one stage here in Prestige Cup Series. So this is the only chance to get some bonus points here for the rest of the race, besides your finishing position. So the 55. Josh will wave. Wyatt Thompson will take stage one. Carmelo will drive his way up to the P2 position. A great race for this 81. And Gabriel Goli holds on for third here in stage one. All their starting order get ready to get wound up, and as stage one completes, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break as we complete stage one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We welcome you back here to Phoenix Raceway here for week 4 of the Prestige Cup Series. And we have a little bit of a shakeup now here in the running order, as we saw a lot of these drivers, switch their track position, maybe get some stage points. They had to go to the back and take those tires and, get some good, fresh Goodyear tires. But you see the pace car already taking a hard left on the pit road. The top 4 have older tires. That includes the 77 to Thompson, the 81, the 83, and the 11. But everybody back on 5th on back. That starts with Finnegan Myers with those fresh Goodyear Eagles. So we're going to see what they can do here. We'll see the 77 and the 81. The Chevy Toyota front rows. We get ready to go green once again here to start stage 2. Let's go ahead and do it. Wyatt Thompson with a good jump. He's going to try to keep that lead away from Peter Hopp as well. A little loose to the background. Here comes Finnegan Myers with the fresh Goodyear tires. Finnegan Myers already up to the P2 position with those fresh, thicker tires. Max Floyd is going to try to battle it out for this P3 position. Peter Hopp, Max Floyd going at it. Max will take the spot for now. Is Reckon in the back. That's the 29. Nicholas Road. He saved it. Another great save out of these drivers today. Wow. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that real quick. Gets contacted with the 91. Look at that save by the 29 machine. We'll go back live here to that 29 now. We're going back there in the P15 spot after getting, you know, kind of getting a bumper put to him. Back further up front. Oh, a little bit of 3 wide action, some contact. 33 putting the bumpers, caution waves. Dorian Davis, Peter Hopp looks like got some damage as well. I'm in the Peter Hopp. Like he's gonna be middle 3, gonna be middle 4. Fortunately, Peter gets loose off the door of the 81. Gonna come up the track and nowhere to go for some of these drivers. Oh man, the 65 is gonna grab him. What happened to Dorian Davis? See what happened to this driver of the 9. This looks like a completely separate incident. Here's Dorian going down here into 3 and 4. Going across the line here. In the 50s, 65. Wow, what happened to the 65? Why we see that slow? Maybe it looks like he was checking up for the wreck. Maybe he saw some smoke. Tried to check up. That's going to be hard. I'm unsure. Let's ride on board with Ryder Morgan. That just looks like checked up for the wreck. Dorian didn't know what was happening. Ran the back of him, and he already obviously saw the 9. Davis completely destroyed there with that car. Tough break for the 9. Now this could be an interesting call. 27 laps since Wyatt Thompson has come down pit road. But Finnegan Myers only has 8 laps on these tires, right? There's a lot of drivers with 8 laps on these tires. If I'm the 77, I don't think I can give up that track position. I think you just have to kind of limp it out here and try to keep as much as you can until, you know, maybe we can run maybe 10, 15 more laps. So remember, all these drivers with the 9 or so laps on their tires, they pitted after stage 1. Now sold the fuel range with these sets is about 60 to 65 laps. So they could go until around lap 100. So the pit window could really starts at about lap, I would say lap 90. So I'm interested to see how long the 77 is willing to stay out if we continue to get these cautions. How long can the 77 hold on? Get them get ready to go back into the restarts, and we'll go hand in hand the camera over the Barney. And here we go. He's sitting up by the 77, but here comes Myers with those fresh tires. Caution will wave once again. Man. Like Prather's got some damage back here. Like Oliver Quinney maybe was involved in this one again. Did a 58. And yeah, man, just a lot, nowhere to go. A lot of these drivers in the back. You see the 59 and the 58 at Prather involved. Those are 2 teammates, I believe. Has nowhere to go. The 77 continues to hold on somehow, some way. He's getting these cautions at a lucky time to kind of extend his ability to stay out here and lead these laps and do stuff. But once again, if we even get, you know, 2 or 3 laps of green, that 12 is going to take advantage, you know, and get around them. I see Cash Culp. He's moved his way up inside the top 5 in that 51 machine. He's probably going to be faster with those fresher tires. Just going to be a matter of time before that 77 loses the lead. Whether it's on his own terms coming down pit road, whether that's just straight up getting passed by these guys with the fresher Goodyear tires. Did you see the lights off on the pace car? Once again, as we approach the 1/3, actually, they passed the 1/3 mark in this race. One more time, you'll see the 77 of Wyatt Thompson, the 12 of Finnegan Myers. Go down here. And ready to go back into the restart zone. We'll get ready to start lap 60 here from Phoenix. See already the 12 of Max, the 11 of Max Ford using that bottom lane. 3 wide as they wreck in the back once again. Now the question is who got the lead here? I thought the 12 of Myers got him. I think they're giving it to Finnegan Myers. We'll look back and see what happened here. Go to our blimp cam, our blip aerial cam. Hey, Jonathan Schaefer, his debut here in the Prestige Cup Series, gets a meatball out of this. The 3 once again, Tyler Helms. Using that front end to try to make a pass. Gets to the back end of 91. That 91 completely tore up. Has not used his fast repair, but he's going to have to tow, it looks like. No, does not tow. Tries to lift it back to pit road, but does go a lap down. Tough break for 91. See the caution win one more time. Go ahead and talk to your race leader here. Let's go ahead and drag up Finnegan Myers and see if we can get a word from him. Hey, Finnegan Myers, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Well, you've looked pretty racy all race long. Obviously, we saw you get the pull here from Phoenix. Obviously had to drive through the field here with these fresher Goodyear tires. How's the car feeling right now?
Really good. Hopefully we'd be good in qualifying. That was kind of the hope, and I knew we'd be good once we got into race trim. And got into a rhythm and that kind of stuff. And I mean, we drove to almost a 3-second gap in the first half of the stage. So I came in, took no tires and fuel just to see if we could get back up here before the end of the stage, and we could. So want to maintain from here, just keep the tires under the car, keep doing what we're doing, and I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, with the cautions the way they are, is it kind of the priority to keep the track position right now, knowing that, you know, a caution could come out any moment, and just to give yourself an opportunity to continue to control this race?
Right now, at least with 90, I guess not quite 90, 87 laps when we go green, I'm not really worried about being in control. I think we have a car capable of just going up and passing for the lead, especially if we have newer tires on. So just going to be getting yourself in the best spot possible for that last run and making sure we're in position at that point.
Well, getting ready to go green here. We'll wish you good luck, and yeah, go get it done here.
Thank you, sir.
Finnegan Myers in the 12 machine. We appreciate him for coming up and talking to us up here in the HVTV booth. You'll see him lead us to green here. 77, Wyatt Thompson on his outside this time, so you'll see that front row get flipped. But the 12 will lead us back to green here to start lap 64 as they get ready to go back into the O'Reilly Auto Parts restart zone. We're back green. And a great jump out of the 12 machine right there. Here comes Cash Culp with those fresher tires. Oh, you're going to see Cash overdrive the quarter a little bit. I think those tires are going to keep him in that P2 spot there. No, here comes the 77. Wyatt Thompson with older tires trying to take this P2 spot back away. Not going to be able to make anything happen. And look at that. Tyler Helms obviously has had not the race I think he wants to right now, but he's up here inside the top 4 now. Look at the stat line. You'll see the stat change here. Look at that. Lowest 27th. Started back there in the P17 spot with his 3 machine. All the way up inside the top 5 now. I'm trying to drive his way up inside, probably to a podium spot right here. I think that's a good, comfortable place for this 3 to be. He wants to come and try to take this win away from some of these front runners. We'll have to see Tyler have to navigate the 77 with the older tires. Remember, still keep a pretty good pace. Despite having the older Goodyear tires, trying to, you know, keep the track position. Here comes Colby Duckworth underneath the 3. Trying to make something happen. Now here comes Tyler Helms underneath the 77. Tyler Helms underneath the 77. They try to get up here and clear for this P3 position, as he will. 77 will fall back to P4. Going to be under the clutches of the 33 as a caution will wave once again. They can goalie some more damage to that 15 machine. Maybe conflict back here in the back. The 15. Ooh. It's 06 just gets up into him. To both of the wall. Excuse me. And that car is just completely destroyed here. And technically, I was talking to JJ Moore, your race control / league owner. He talked about no iRacing caution tonight, so it's going to be someone hitting the button here to call these cautions, and I think someone probably called it out. 2 cars getting wad up there. I don't really know if the iRacing would have called that, but obviously the race control decided that was deemable to slow this pace back down, and caution will wave once again. So some more strategy underway. Finnegan Myers, who was your race leader, decided to come down and pit alongside Max Ford. Max Ford was given an EOL penalty, so I believe he probably was caught speeding. Something or the other. So your top 8 drivers right now have some sort of laps on their tires. And we're not in that pit window yet to make it on fuel. Remember, I was told 60 to 65 laps is around the pit window, so we still need to get to lap 90 before I would say that everybody can be comfortable making it. Obviously, with how the cautions have fallen, you could probably pit here in about 10 or so laps and maybe make it on fuel if we continue to get the cautions the way they have. This is, I believe, our 6th caution of the race. Say hello to everybody watching at home. We appreciate everybody for coming on in, whether you're watching over on the High Velocity TV YouTube channel, whether you're watching over on twitch.tv/ChrisHabas13. We welcome you to Phoenix, Arizona here for week 4. Here right now, that 51 Cash Colt leading the pack here. A little bit of a tire strategy for this number 51 machine. Colby Duckworth also with a little bit of a tire strategy. Carmelo Echeverra, though, 45 laps on these tires. I'm interested to see how long he can hold on here with those really older tires compared to everybody else around him. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the broadcast and sharing it with friends and family. Obviously, a young and prospering network trying to, get our footing underneath us. We definitely appreciate the support here, but we just appreciate everybody coming out here and watching early tonight here from Phoenix. We approach 10 o'clock there on the Eastern Seaboard here, 9 o'clock here, 9 o'clock Central Time here in the HVTV studios. So we get ready to go green here. Cash Colt, Colby Duckworth, 55, 50 to 33. Ford Chevy front row. We get ready to go back into the O'Reilly Auto Parts restart zone, and the 51 leads us back to green. A great jump by the 51 to get away here. Carmelo with a good jump there, even with the older tires. To keep that P2 position. Wyatt Blair, Colby Duckworth right now, P3 and 4, trying to, battle it out for that position. And Travis Prather, remember, he's gotten caught up in a couple of wrecks here. Has had to use that fast repair. Sitting there in P5, but here comes Finnegan Myers. One of your faster drivers tonight here from Phoenix. And try to use that outside lane to get around the 58. Like he'll clear here out of turn 2. Finnegan Myers underneath the 59 now. Wyatt Blair. I think that 12 will easily clear these cars here with these older tires. And battling side by side further back, you see Wyatt Thompson, Travis Prather. Is Thompson one of those drivers with those fresh tires going to try to drive through the field? You see someone outside wall there in the back. I believe that's 09 of Isaiah Fox. Knocking that outside wall down. A little bit of contact between the 77 and the 59. 77 trying to go. Tyler Helms will follow suit back there in the 3 machine. Tina's kind of top 6 break away from the rest of the field. You see 7th back here, Isaiah Fox. Leading this little 4-car pack by Fox, Prather, Blair, and Jackson Brown back there. Running out your top 10. Brown going all the way down there, cutting that dog leg, trying to make up some spots here with those fresh Goodyear tires versus some of these guys who have stayed out. See him getting around the 58 of Prather and try to chase down that 09 of Fox. Tyler Holmes makes that pass on the 81 of Carmelo. Carmelo with by far the oldest tires here in this front pack here. 52 laps on those Goodyear Eagles, so the tires cannot be working the way they want it to. We're closing in on the potential start of the fuel window here. They're side by side up here. Megan Myers actually, I feel like, trying to hold off some of these drivers. Here comes Cash Culp on the bottom. First time we've seen Finnegan have to play defense here. Ooh, Cash overdrives the corner, and that's going to allow some drivers behind to take advantage. Tyler Holmes will easily make that pass. Now we're starting to see kind of the big three here for this race. Make their way up inside this top three. That's Myers, that's Thompson, and that's Helms. You see 1, 2 in points right there, battling out for that P2 position. Wyatt Thompson. These top three drivers all have the same, you know, all came down pit road at the same time. What's going to be about? Who wants to push here? It's going to be interesting to see because remember, we're only about 10 laps away from really the start of the grid flag pit cycle. That's when you can kind of pit and make it from the end here. Make it to the end. But obviously, these guys only have 13 laps on these tires. I don't imagine seeing these front three kind of short pitting here and trying to, you know, come down pit road and take advantage of the pit cycle starting. I feel like these guys are going to maybe wait a couple, maybe 20-odd laps before they decide to come down pit road. Someone like Carmelo, though, he's already almost to that pit limit, right? He could probably only go about 7 or 8 more laps on fuel. So look out for this 81 to be potentially one of the first cars to come down pit road here when we hit that lap 90 mark. Battling further on back, looks like for this P10 position. Nicholas Rowe trying to take this P10 spot away from Travis Prather. Prather has continued to fall through the pack here with these older Goodyear tires. He'll drop outside the top end. Oh, the 31 of Jackson Brown, super loose. Keeps it underneath him, but he's going to lose a lot of time and a lot of track position from that. That's going to allow his teammate in the 29 to try to catch up and follow pursuit from this 31. Here comes the 31. It looks like he's coming down pit road. So Jackson Brown will be the first of your lead lap cars to make the pit stop here. We'll see where he ends up coming out. But we're seeing these top three drivers start to pull away from the rest of the field here. So it's kind of this big three in the rest of the field here. But here comes Tyler Holmes. He has not taken the pressure away from the 77 at Wyatt Thompson. Trying to get around the 77, just cannot do it right now. I will say this, I am super impressed with this 81 machine. He's had a lot of pace tonight, and he's on 61 lap old tires. And still somehow in the top 6. Only, you know, almost 2.5 seconds off the leaders here. I mean, he's going to have to come down pit road sooner or later here. I was told 61 to 65 was kind of the fuel range, so he can only go a couple more laps on pit before he has to come down pit side. But man, this 81 has shown a lot of speed here tonight at Phoenix. Look at battle back here, Max Ford. Trying to make the pass on Joseph Federite here for the P11 position. This is for P12, I believe. Max 20 laps on these tires, so the same as the leaders. Remember, got an EOL on one of these starts here, so has to drive his way back through the field here. We know he's got a good race car underneath him. Gonna have to do it the hard way. And we can see how hard it is to get around this track and make time. You see that little dimple on the front of that 11 as well. That's definitely going to affect the way this car wants to drive, how fast you can push it. But going to have to do a little bit more to try to get himself up inside the top 10. Finnegan Myers continues to lead. He's pulled out to about a second lead over Wyatt Thompson. And Finnegan, he talked about just kind of running a pace, trying to maintain, this lead and trying to maintain the gap here. Try to keep the car underneath him, and he's doing a good job at it right now as we've seen the tire wear start to favor this 12 machine. Obviously, we know that the dirty air is something that we have to talk about here in these next-gen machines. Maybe that's something that's starting to help this 12 machine out. Versus the 77 and the 3 who've had to deal with the dirty air of the cars in front of them, including the 12 here of Myers. You still see Wyatt back here in the P2 position, trying to do everything he can, keep up with this 12 machine right now. The 12 continuing the pole here as we go along here. 27.1 for Myers versus a 27.4 for Wyatt. 27.3 for Tyler Helms. So well over 0.2 quicker than even the fastest next guy here in this top 3. Some guys who finally, and somehow Carmelo has not been able to have to come down pit road yet. Remember we've had enough cautions that he could probably save a decent amount of fuel here, so I'm not surprised to see that. Oh, as we see a caution, maybe will the 51 save it? Cash Kolb, what a save! No, they're going to wreck again here. Cash Kolb not happy with the 81. Maybe caution will come out. We'll see if they throw it. No. They keep it green. They keep it straight. I don't think that was on purpose. But we knew that cash one definitely looked pretty malicious. They'll both lose a lot of time. That's something that maybe Cash will go back and look at and be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I mean, obviously, you saw the 81 was the one who kind of make the contact, but to go out of your way to try to wreck him back and lose you even more time and everything else, that's just kind of foolish and kind of stupid to do here in the race here, especially now that you didn't get a caution, right? Now you can't, go down and take the tires and kind of restart and here. You just lost, you're up here inside the top 5. You're back barely inside the top 10 now. Interesting sights and scenes here from Phoenix, but yeah, definitely something that Cash might look back on and be like, probably not the best that I did that. Carmelo back here in P13 now after that whole incident there, if you want to call it. Gonna try to race down this 57. Joseph Finwright trying to drive his way back through the field. We might have a battle ensuing here. The 29 from Nicholas Road catching the 09 of Fox. Fox starting to, lose some lap time here with the tire wear. And now we approach the last third of this race. Lead the 2/3 mark. Got to complete this last 50 laps here. If this 29 can get around this 09 machine. It's gonna be hard for this 29 to make the pass here with the way the tire wear has been. That 9 is kind of using this higher lane, just kind of a defensive lane here to try to keep this 29 behind here until maybe we start to actually see some drivers come down pit side here. We approach 45 to go here from Phoenix. Caution will wave. Look and see what happened. Cash Culp in the pits. Cash Culp fighting the 11 of Max Ford. Oh, man. And that will take out Max as well, I think. Looks like the 51 just came down just a little bit going into the dog leg. And Max, once again, this is kind of that weird racing deal when you come to Phoenix here, because everybody assumes that everybody wants to cut the dog leg. Max did not want to cut it, and the 51 came down assuming that the 11 would. And unfortunately, it's going to take both these drivers into a wreck, probably in their race here. Go back and look at this replay here. Them going down here, down in the 1 and 2. You'll see this 51 just come down the track here. Looks like he'll collect the 73 as well. That one I will not put on the 51. That's just kind of a racing deal, in my opinion. But unfortunate for everybody involved. So Max Ford staying out here. Interesting call, maybe to lead a lap here. He might come down pit road here because he does have that damage. Maybe wants to lead a lap, get that bonus point. But that will drag everybody else down pit road here. All your race leaders came down and took tires. Really, everybody outside of P14 here. Like Jackson Brown's still down pit side, so he will take tires. Come out of pit road here. Carmelo. Is going to stay out here. He's only got 4 laps on this stint. But is trapped a lap down, so. Which is unfortunate. Max? Is he going to stay out here? With 35 lap tires? He will. That's unfortunate for Camilo because he was going to take the wave. And it's going to have to send that 81 to the back. So he needs a caution now to put himself back into the race. Interesting call by 11. Obviously got caught up in that wreck, but see how he can hold on to this race lead. Blue green here. I'm interested to see how Race Control calls out. Looks like the 7 got the jump over the 11. Obviously, the 11 all tore up and everything. But it looks like he, borderline the 77 might have jumped the start. I'm not going to say he did until we go back and maybe look at it further. We get a word from the Race Control or something. And it definitely looked interesting. Wyatt Thompson gets the lead. Tyler Helms take over that P2 spot. Penny and Myers all the way back here in P7. Not sure what happened in the slow machine to get him this back in the pack. Maybe we lost something there on the restart, but got a lot of work to do to get back up to that race lead. Sitting in now underneath the 09. He's going to make that pass work. Back up to the front. The 77 continues the lead here, but Tyler Helms still has him in his sights. Gonna make something happen. See Tyler gonna go on that outer lane to go down, get the better run off the quarter here. He's gonna be right there at the deck lid of the 77. Bosch to stop side by side. Give it to the 77 for now. But Tyler Helms is there. So I'm going to try to pinch him down here in the 1 and 2 and try to get that better run out of the corner. So he will try to. Not going to be able to clear yet. Still driving into the corner here. Trying to stay ahead of this 3 machine, but the 3 will try to back up the corner. Not able to get back to the quarter pedal of the 77 quite yet, though. The Helms unable to do anything with the 77 yet. We approach, though, as the laps continue to tick down. And again, Myers has driven his way back up inside the top 3. Look at that cushion. Almost a second and a half he needs to make back up here. Remember, this 12 had to kind of probably use this up a little bit to get around these slower cars. Closing the gap little by little here, down to almost 1.3 now. He was 1.6 through that last lap. Until already this 12 has pushed it a little bit to get back to the lead here. Right now, if I'm Helms, unless you feel like you could run away from the 77, do not fight the 77. It's just gonna allow this 12 to get back into the picture. You're gonna see him go side by side out of turn 2 there, out the windshield of this old machine. Not quiet. You can tell that this Myers car is, I mean, it's eager. It wants to get back up there. And seeing these two fight each other as hard as they are, I mean, this is exactly what he wants to see. You see the gap closing. Already under a second already for this 12 machine. He tries to run down these top 2. A little pack of cars back here. And I have 4 cars under a blanket here. 7th, I would say 7th through 9th or 10th here. Trying to fight each other. Gabriel and Goalie back here in P9. Trying to do something here. You know, this 55 has flashes of speed. Then up here inside the top 10. Good start. I think this 55's got a little bit more pace underneath it. Got to wait on Gabriel to, you know, be patient here. Try to get around these cars. And Dorian Davis, once again, having a quiet night, sitting back up here inside the top 5. Look at the stat line here. Up and down day for this 9 machine. Right now, sitting back there in P5. Does have a pretty big gap to the leaders here. As all the leaders are within a second. Finney and Myers actually got around the 3 of Tyler Helms, so probably gonna have to put that camera back on this top 3 battle. Once again, just another smooth, another quiet night for Dorian Davis. So that's exactly what he wants. Has not had the start of the season he wants here in the Prestige Cup Series. And now it's in P10 in points, 50 points behind Tyler Helms, who's your points leader. Back up here, you see Dorian Davis getting, you know, slowly pulled away from, as Finney and Myers takes this P2 spot away from Tyler Helms. Trying to race down the race leader of the 77 of Wyatt Thompson. And these two, I feel like, are the 2 best cars right now. I'm interested to see if Tyler, trying to save a little bit of, if Tyler is trying to save some tire. Say that 3 times fast. And we'll try to run these guys back down, maybe further down this run here if we do keep it green. Now everybody kind of finding their own pace, just trying to settle in here. We continue to go down. We tick down to almost 25 laps to go here in week 4 here from Phoenix Raceway. Wyatt Thompson continues the lead here. And an outstanding career for this driver tonight. 43 laps led. This 77 looks racy. It looks quick. He's got the 70. He's going to have to fight this 12 for this win, I feel like. Finney and Myers in no slouch here tonight at Phoenix. 60 laps led. It's starting to run down this 77 just a little bit. The lap times have started to, you know, kind of even out here. A 2-0 for Finnegan, which is a 2-9 for Wyatt Thompson. You're seeing where these two are better. Wyatt a little bit more aggressive on the bricks. On it and through corner entry here. You'll see him pull away there. You'll see Finnegan start to run him back down on exit. Dorian Davis just got passed by the 29 of Nicholas Road. I believe. No, he's actually catching the 29 of Nicholas Road. My apologies. Dorian finding that long run pace that he is very well known for having. Big wiggle out of the 9 right there. Wyatt Thompson. Oh, wow. The Wyatt Thompson puts the bumper to the 11. That's going to slow him down a lot. Here comes Finnegan Myers with the run. I don't know if there was some beef between those two, but that really held up the 77. Here comes Myers here, trying to take this race lead away. Wow. Now the 77 really does have to play defense. Overdrives the corner. That's going to allow Finnegan to try to get at the quarter pedal. Not going to be able to quite yet. He'll cut the dog leg. Finnegan trying to be cordial. Not willing to put the bumper to him quite yet. The issue with this is, you know, I feel like Finnegan's trying to be nice about it, but I feel like Wyatt and Finnegan have pretty equal cars here. So it's going to be really hard to make this pass work unless Finnegan starts to use them up here. And you're starting to see that dirty air come into effect. You see him slap the wall there twice that last lap. This is why I said this tire war is going to start to come down to who has the better tires. Did Finnegan use this stuff up, trying to get back up to these guys? It was the dirty air really affecting the way this 12 is handling. Because this 77 once again is starting to pull away from the 12 machine. That 77 starts to pull once again. I ultimately think it's just because that 77's had the clean air. He's been able to kind of dictate the pace of the race for him and him only. Finnegan, remember, it started back there at P7 on this last restart, which was 35 laps ago. So they've had to run 35 laps on these tires, and the tire wear is pretty bad here with the new update. I talked to JJ Moore before we went live tonight, and he said the tire wear is gonna matter a lot here with this new update. And I just think Finnegan might have just had to use this stuff up just a little bit too much, trying to get through the field. Had to restart 7th, drove his way up to the field pretty easily, but then had to push pretty hard to get back up here. He was 2.5 seconds behind when he got clear in that P3 position. Had to drive up through the field, get around Tyler Helms, and now look at this. Just cannot get back to the back end of the 77 after that whatever you want to call it, between the 77 and that 11 as Max Ford got lapped. He will just on board with this 12. You just see the 77 continuing to just pull further and further away as the time goes on. 9 to go here. I think he's going to need something special here to get back here to this 77. At 77, it continues to just shrink and go away here. I mean, once again, 12's going to need something to happen here. But we do have a battle up here. And Dorian Davis got around Nicholas Road, but Nicholas Road is not giving this spot up easily. You can just really tell by this timing and scoring who was the best 3 drivers tonight. Obviously, I'd like to see what Dorian could have done with the track position, but Holmes, Myers, Thompson were by far your top 3 drivers tonight, and that's no disrespect to everybody else tonight. Obviously, I would have loved to seen what the 91 could have done. The 06, so the 26. Riley Maxwell has shown a lot of speed recently, but he's 10 laps down. I just feel like the caution really did dictate the race tonight. The fast guys who got through the wrecks are the top 3 up top, right? We all knew the 91 looked really racy tonight. And he was out early. And 06, Rylan Gray looked pretty good. The 26 of Matthew Rogers looked really good tonight. Fortunately, none of them are going to come home with the finish I feel like they deserve. We approach 5 to go here from Phoenix. It's just a 77 show. He's already put a second now on P2 of Finnegan Myers. Maybe it was the clean air. Maybe it was the track position. Maybe it was just the driver skill out of the 77. But, I mean, he's put on a phenomenal race tonight. He's got to make this circuit 1.5 more times. Tyler Helms might have some competition for this points lead. We take the white flag to go here for Wyatt Thompson. He takes the white flag here for Phoenix. What a run by the 77. Obviously came in and won week 1 here at Daytona. But obviously you could kind of put an asterisk at Daytona. But no asterisk tonight, as he will come out here and dominate here at Phoenix. Go ahead and give it to him. Wyatt Thompson gets his second win of the season here from Phoenix. Wow, you can see him drifting around 1 and 2 there. That was really cool. Congratulations to this whole 77 team. I mean, this is a great first start of a campaign. Obviously, last season, Wyatt wasn't showing up with the speed that I expected him to. But tonight, obviously, week 4, 2 wins. And it's funny to say this. 4 drivers. I mean, 4 races, only 2 drivers have won this season. And they consisted the first 2 in the points. Tyler Helms has 2 wins apiece, and now Wyatt Thompson 2 wins apiece. And you see the celebration here, the 77 camp. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get ready to start your post-race show. Talk to your top 3 finishers tonight. Look at your unofficial race results for tonight's race.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
As we welcome you back here to the post-race show here for the AWC, the Prestige Cup Series. My apologies, AWC's tomorrow here from Phoenix Raceways. We saw Wyatt Thompson take home his second victory of the season here. Let's go ahead and talk to that 77 machine. Hey Wyatt, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your second win of the season here at Phoenix. And obviously, it looks like you had a really strong car tonight, and um, had to fight off a hard charging Finnegan Myers, Tyler Helms, and even you could probably throw in Dorian Davison in the mix there. Walk us through kind of that last run. What was going through your head there? Obviously, had to fight off 2 of the best cars tonight, and we're able to take it home.
I was That was a super good long run. I'm honestly proud of the field for keeping it green that last little bit. That was 45 laps green, and the car felt great with the Premier Racing setups that we got this week. We're going to be working with those, and I think it's going pretty well with them. So most of that last run was just trying to save my stuff, because usually Finnegan is, once he gets to the front, he's gone. I'm sure you saw it. Right after the first stage, he just left after about 10 laps, and I was trying to manage my gap to him and kind of keep enough pace to stay away from Tyler, though.
So obviously, we kind of have to point out with the new update, with the sim, with the new horsepower package, and just the new setup with the short track package, or you want to call them the sim. How much of a difference did that make tonight, and the way you kind of had to center your race?
I could definitely tell, like, compared to previous Phoenix races I've had, that the car moved around. You could actually, the rear end wanted to step out. You weren't plowing tight all the way through 1 and 2. You could maneuver, and we were driving it off the rear pretty good and off of turn 2. And 4, it didn't really change a whole lot because of the banking, but off of 2, it felt beautiful with a 700 package.
Obviously, it's going to be something that really everybody's going to have to adapt to. Not only here for Phoenix, but like a big one that I think about is Darlington. Obviously, it's technically under that mile and a half range, um, with 1.3 miles. You know, it's something that all these drivers are gonna have to adapt to as we get down the line. So just looking at Phoenix, is this a good like kind of um notebook kind of track when you go down to some of these other short tracks?
I think it's a very unique track, and it's a great showcase between driver and car because of the way that you have to drive it. I think the variation in the corners is very good. So off of this, I think that this short track package is a great step in the right direction for cup cars. Maybe we can go further.
I definitely agree. You guys put on a great show tonight. And once again, congratulations here on this second win of the season, tying you with the lead here for wins of the season between you and the guy you raced here for this points championship, Tyler Helms. But once again, you kind of got the exclamation point tonight here at Phoenix. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank tonight for your second win of the season?
Thank you to Premier for the setups and JJ and Ken for running the league and race controlling.
Definitely couldn't do without those admins. But once again, congratulations, Wyatt, on your second win of the season here, and hopefully we can talk to you soon as we get ready to go. Next week, we're going to Super Speed Racing there from Talladega.
Nice. Thank you. Have a nice night. Appreciate you for streaming.
Yep. Have a good rest of the night. Wyatt Thompson comes home race winner, and we'll go ahead and talk to Finnegan Myers. Looks like he had maybe one of the best cars tonight. Fortunately, just couldn't run down that 77 machine. Let's go ahead and talk to Finnegan Myers. You see him leading 60 laps tonight. Hey Finnegan, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, P2 for you and this whole 12 team in your debut here for the Prestige Cup Series. Obviously, had a fast piece underneath you today, but come up one spot short here. Walk us through the race. Walk us, what maybe more you had to do to get to that 77.
Yeah, I thought I mean, on the long run, I thought we had for sure the fastest car. I mean, the two runs we got where we were at the front, we were pulling a couple tenths a lap, just walking. I mean, we just never really got the run while we were out there. And then on the last stop, it says we got speeding. I went back and looked. I trusted myself. I don't think I sped, but they said they didn't want to look at it and they weren't going to clear it. So, just that kind of stuff. So we went to the back and put our head down, and on the hardest track to pass, drove from somewhere around 14th all the way up to second, and then we got there. But clean air is magical at this place, so got underneath them a few times and never touched them. I guess we should have just been a little more aggressive on that and made sure we got clear. But yeah, still good run. Super proud of how fast we were on the long run without much practice on this setup. I've never driven this setup on this track, so to roll off and be so good at saving tire and so good on the long run is cool. Just one spot short, but I'll take it.
Obviously, we talked about. I had no idea that there was a speeding penalty or anything, so we were wondering why you had to start further back than what you were supposed to. But obviously, at the end there, you had to drive to the field here. Do you think not only the cleaner, but maybe you had to just use your stuff up a little bit more to get through the field, and then when you got to Wyatt, maybe he just had a little bit more tire left in him?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think even at the end, if we look at like tire temps and tire wear, our tires are probably pretty similar. Just the clean air really, like, you could have the same laps on your tires, and whoever's in clean air is going to have that big advantage. And especially once you can take the bottom lane in 3 and 4, especially, there's not really any place to go but following the tire tracks. And then once the right front gets heated, you're kind of done from that point. But yeah, we used more tire than we have all night driving through the whole field. And then I still felt really good when we got there. We just sat there for so long and couldn't get the momentum. Things I'd probably do differently. Live, you learn, and come back next time.
Exactly. Well, honestly, not a bad debut for you here in the Prestige Cup Series. Coming home P2, leading 60 laps. Obviously, you showed a lot of pace tonight, but one spot short. But before we let you go, Kendorian Finnegan, anybody you want to thank tonight for this P2 finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Battleborn Rays, Clothing Co., Edmunds Motorsports, Red Bull, Holy City Brewing, Ryco, all those guys. Big thanks to Chase George, hopped on, did some spotting, did some work for us. So it's always nice to have someone in your ear helping you make sure we get through that clean. I don't think we had, other than the time I mowed down the wall in 3 and 4, didn't have a scratch on the car. So brought it home clean. Thanks to those guys for making it possible, and we'll go get it again sometime.
Well, yeah, still a great run for you in this 12 machine. Look forward to Talladega. Obviously, kind of a unknown coming into next week, but hopefully we can talk to you soon. Maybe up here one spot better when we go to Alabama.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan.
Have a good rest of the night.
Same to you.
Bingen Myers comes home P2. Oh man, feel bad. Wasn't meant to be, but like I said, a great debut for that 12 team. Look out, be on the lookout for this 12 team the rest of the season. Obviously gonna come. He came in on week 4. He missed 3 races. That's gonna be a big downside to him is, missing a couple races here, but I have a feeling he'll be up here race for a championship at the end of the season. Talented young man, and yeah, just be on the lookout for this 12 team. That this is a team you cannot give a shot in the arm to and give them any momentum. But obviously coming home P2, pretty good mo. But let's go ahead and talk to Tyler Helms. The surprisingly 0 laps led tonight, but still will come home P3. Great run for this um great team. Let's go ahead and talk to Three Machine of Tyler Helms. Hey Tyler, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, another podium for you here in the Prestige Cup Series. Obviously, couldn't go 3 in a row here, but still a P3 finish. Not too bad for you. Obviously, need some good runs to stay ahead of this 77 in points wise. But walk us through your race. Walk us through, what got you up here inside this podium.
Yeah, well, first of all, I messed up qualifying very badly. Don't really know what happened. Just went into turn 1, lost the rear end, and was like 5 tenths slower than what I could have been. Could have had 3 poles in a row as well. Just messed it up. Missed the start, trying to bind a brake bias button. After that, we made it through the field. I got damage. We're stuck mid pack. Couldn't pass at all, and then had a few moments. Finally found ourselves in the P3 on a restart, and I will say this is the worst officiated race I've ever been a part of. So much bias, and I'm not afraid to say that. Wyatt D. Thompson 100% jumped the final restart, and he was not given a black flag by iRacing, and JJ Moore decided to, instead of black flagging him and giving him a drive through penalty, said, well, iRacing didn't give him a penalty, so I'm not going to give him a penalty. So at that point, what's the point of having a race control? Finnegan Myers got a phantom speeding penalty, which is a glitch in iRacing at Phoenix. And then he even acknowledged it and then still forced him to go to the back because he knew Finnegan had the best chance of winning. So complete bias this entire race. Maybe it could have been different if Wyatt was given a black flag and I had the clean air because I just couldn't save tires at all. And I feel like a lot of it because I was in traffic most of the race. But I guess we'll never get to find out from the terrible officiating, which that needs to change. If we're not willing to give up penalties, what's the point of having a race control in the booth? But besides that, I had fun. Working with Finn, love the guy. We're trying to, have at least one of us win. Sucks he wasn't able to get there, but honestly, for me, it was a pretty uneventful race. I don't really remember too much from it. I had a lot of contact with some people. I think it's might have been one of my worst races I've ever had driving. But P3 is definitely a good finish, and we've gone second, first, thirds. So it's 4 straight podiums in a row, and next week's Talladega, so you never know what can happen there, and I don't really have anything much left to say about the race, so I guess we'll leave it at that. I'm a little bit frustrated with the P3 finish. I feel like we had the car to be able to compete, but we were always stuck in traffic all race, so yeah, it definitely sucks, but never can be too mad about a 3rd place.
Exactly, and obviously you talked about traffic being hard to pass. We saw that with everybody, even Finn and everybody who came up here. It just talked about the dirty air and how hard it was to pass. But going into next week, obviously coming in as the points leader, going in that next week as Talday as the points leader. What's the goal there? Are you going to try to be aggressive to be up front to get the stage points to continue to maybe stretch this gap on the 77, or are you just going to try to be in car conservation mode to get there at the end and maybe try to race for the win?
That's something I gotta talk with my teammates about. We have 5 of us that working together. 4 of us on Duck Motorsports, and then Zach on Jackson's team. We're gonna have all 5 of us being able to work together. We know Max is gonna work with us as well, so we have 5 or 6 guys working together. That's something we'll have to find out. I feel like we have the guys and we have the talent to be able to go to the front whenever we want, even though if we start from the back or if we go to the back or what we do. I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to try to be aggressive and control the pace of the race. That's at least what I want to do. Um, but for the most part, I'm sick and tired of super speedway racing. We've had on iRacing, we've had Daytona and Atlanta, and being able to drive an oval here today was like an actual oval was the biggest relief ever after racing super speedways for that long. But I think we'll try to go up to the front, control the pace of the race, see if we can go get some stage points for some of the guys that might need it. Maybe a stage win for like Jackson and Nick, who might need it. Maybe Colby. And, basically, obviously, typical super speedway, you want to be there at the end. Doesn't matter what happens at the beginning of the race. You just want to be there at the end. It's an 80 lap race, so it's a long one. So as long as we're all there at the end and if we're all there at the end with no damage, I think any of us have an opportunity to be able to win. So, um, hopefully one of us can go do that there. And it is sponsored by Colby, so maybe we can go get one for our team at Talladega, and just control the race. I think it's gonna be the biggest thing. Not letting the outside line or the inside line go. Um, you would think it'd be mostly single file being a super speedway, but you never know with these guys. So it's something we'll have to talk about definitely, and we'll see next race, like actually in the race of how it's actually going to be handled.
Definitely sounds like a good plan for you and that whole team, to be prepared for next week. Obviously, how they can go really fun, really smoothly, but also go pretty bad with how bad the wrecks can get there. But once again, congratulations on know, another podium finish for you here in Prestige. Before we let you go, Tyler, anybody you want to thank for this podium tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank my teammates. They've really been helping me out all season long. Ever since I moved over here, it was best decision I've ever made in this league to come over to Deck Motorsports. I love all my teammates. We can joke around and voice chat under cautions, but whenever it comes to green flag, we're mostly we're mainly serious and actually are working together and just got to thank those guys. Can't thank them enough. Got to thank the guys at Precision Speed Solutions for the beautiful car they give me and the setups I get for officials as well. I think we're one of the top three setup shops on iRacing right now, and got to thank you for broadcasting and the competition as well. It was a heated race over the radio. A lot of guys talking. Me, one of them, complaining a lot, and I'll say to the drivers that were complaining that I was complaining. I apologize for that. Was on a very quick temper today with just everything that's been happening as of recently. So, we'll take a P3. Definitely wish it could have been a little bit better, but we'll take it. We'll walk away with it, and we'll go into Talladega and whatever else is after. Maybe we can go get a few more wins this season.
Definitely sounds like a good plan. Once again, we appreciate the kind words up in the booth, and like I said, hopefully we'll talk to you maybe a couple spots better up there in Alabama.
Yep, thank you.
Have a good rest of the night.
Yeah, you too.
Tyler Helms comes home P3 here from Phoenix, and man, I definitely agree with him. Talladega, it's kind of those races you can't prepare for, and you kind of have to take it by ear, right? You can have a really well planned out, thing of what you want to do here from, at Talladega, and everything can go right, right? You want to focus on, pushing someone to the lead there, and then get wrecked out from a phantom, hook or something, with how netcode works here on the sim. It's just something you kind of have to play by ear, and that's what makes the super speedway racer so unique compared to any other kind of racer. You see that the guys who excel on the super speedways. They don't really plan anything. They just kind of put themselves in the right places at the right time. There's no plan to ride in the back. There's no plan to control the race. There's no plan to back out when it doesn't feel right. It's just wherever they need to put their car, they put it so they can, be up there up at the front. And I feel like that's exactly what all these drivers have to do next week. going into Talladega, and I'm super excited to see how that works out. We've had some good racing tonight. Obviously, I'm excited to see we had a good long green flag run there at the end that allowed Wyatt Thompson to come away with his second win of the season. So once again, congratulations to Thompson and that whole 77 team. Obviously, we did have some question marks about that restart that why that Tyler brought up, but obviously no penalty for Wyatt, and it's not for us to decide, how things should be done here. But yeah, exciting race. Obviously, a lot of calamity, a lot of very quick race car drivers, and a lot of quick scenes got tore up tonight. But it's going to be a learning case, especially for a lot of these um new short tracks with the package and everything else. People are going to have to relearn how to drive the car. On top of that, with the new partnership with Prestige and Premier Setup Shops, right? It's a completely different set than these drivers are used to, right? So it's definitely going to be interesting, and it's going to be a learning curve for all these drivers going forward to see, to get used to how the sets work and how the cars are going to drive and how they're going to handle, right? Because it's not, I assume it's going to be pretty different from the fixed set. So um, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys can adapt from week to week and see, some of these guys who come into the league, you know, uh, recently, like a Finnegan Myers, like a Jonathan Schaefer, like a we saw um Chase Carl race last week. Hopefully, we could see him come and do a couple more starts. It's gonna be interesting to see, these talented drivers continue to come in, even though they're late, and try to race for a win here. Obviously, 4 races. They came in on race 4. They missed 3, but there's still a lot of time to build those points up and get themselves inside the top 12 of the of the playoffs. Excuse me. But it's gonna be exciting. Can't wait for Talladega next week. It's gonna be fun to call. It's gonna be chaotic. So, but I appreciate everybody coming out. Looks like we have 56 concurrent viewers tonight for the broadcast. So I appreciate everybody coming out and watching the broadcast. I definitely had a fun time calling week 4 here from Phoenix Raceway. Hello, and I will reintroduce myself. My name is Christian Delgado, the lead producer and commentator, also owner of High Velocity TV. So we appreciate everybody coming out and watching the broadcast. It definitely means a whole lot to me to see, you know, um, everybody wanting to come out and watch the broadcast and have a good time watching it. So if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a thumbs up on the broadcast tonight, if you wouldn't mind sharing the broadcast with friends and family, just so that you can see, hey, look at this good race, look at the good finish we had, and I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the YouTube channel, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell notification, then to be notified anytime we go live here on the channel, whether it's for Prestige, whether it is for the AWC Pro Series, which will happen tomorrow, whether it is for the Ice and Up Cup Series, the UIS Truck and Cup Series, whatever we do here. Make sure to hit that bell notification to be notified when we go live here, future broadcasts. But lastly, once again, I appreciate everybody for coming out. Big thank you to Prestige for having us come back on and do their second season here of the Cup Series. I definitely have a blast getting to know these drivers and commentating the races and getting to know the admins and stuff. Huge shout out to JJ and Condorian for making this all happen. None of us would be out here racing or commentating if it wasn't for them setting everything up in the background. And huge thank you to them for allowing us to come back and do stuff. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Thursday night. We'll be back on tomorrow for the AWC Pro Series as they continue their season. Week 2 at Homestead, Miami Speedway. I can't wait for that. And then Saturday we'll be back for the Ice and Up Cup Series for week 6, I believe. There. And then we'll be back just right after that Ice and F Cup Series broadcast. We'll be going back to do the URS setups Cup Series as well. For the couple weeks we're doing their stuff. So we'll definitely have a lot of content here on the channel. So if you guys don't mind, coming back and watching the broadcast, I definitely appreciate it. Once again, I hope everybody has a good rest of your Thursday night. You don't end up coming back. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of the February as we have it. But everybody has a good rest of the night, guys. Soon.